I'll officially start our event now. My name is Janet, and I am the business owner at Avid Bookshop in Athens, Georgia. And we are so excited to present to you Jacob Wenzka and Bart King for their brand new picture book called Robot Soup. I will not go into detail about the book or the creators because they're going to run the show themselves, but I do want to say one quick thing, and that is that we at Avid Bookshop love being able to be your neighborhood bookstore, even if you're not local and we're like the bookstore that you can kind of visit when you come see us in town. We have this book as well as Bart and Jacob's previous books for sale on our website and via our phone service. Our store is closed to browsing right now, but because of people like Bart and Jacob who support us and send their fans and friends to us, we are able to meet payroll every single pay period since the pandemic started. So thank you for your financial support and your awesome reading habits. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to two incredible creators who happen to live in my town of Athens, Georgia. So this is Jacob Wenzka and Bart King. Y'all take it away.
Right.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
Janet.
much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for having us. And thanks to Avid. So I'm Bart, and
That's what she's known for.
that's Jacob.
Thank
Um,
you.
And so, yeah, we are an author and illustrator creative duo. We make children's books for kids. We've made 4 children's books so far. And we just finished our 4th one this last summer. And the exciting thing that we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about the new book. It's called Robot Soup. You see Jacob holding it right there. I've got a list of things I want to tell you about, so I don't forget. I've got a Charlie Brown pencil, which I think are
That's an
peanuts.
awesome pencil.
Peanuts, Charlie Brown, and
All
Snoopy.
right.
So I'm going to check off a few things. I
Very
already
good.
told you my name,
Yes.
told you Jacob's name, and we're going to read the book. And then we're going to, you all are going to be the first people to see the music video. So this book is not just a book, it's also a song. And we made the song into an animated music video. And actually, the animator is here with us tonight as well. His name is Evan English, and he'll probably come on and wave again
There
in
he
a little
is.
bit.
Thanks,
Nice.
Evan.
And
Good to see
and
you.
so you all are going to be the first people to see this video. And if you have any questions tonight, you can type them into the chat and put your questions there, and we'll answer them. So yeah,
A lot
let's
more complicated stuff I don't know how to do.
and maybe ask an adult who's there with you to help too if you need help with that. So let's Jacob, let's tee up the first screen share and share some pictures, and we'll tell you a little bit more about us.
I'm excited to share a picture here. Let's see. And you all have to bear with me a little bit because I'm learning my technical skills as we go, but I think you're about to see a picture right now popping up. There it is.
So that's us. That's us at our goofiest or near goofiest. And go ahead. They already know who we are. So let's go to the next slide. So we are not just author and illustrators. We're also dads. That's kind of what got us into writing children's books. And these are our kids. My daughter is in the blue shirt, Lucille, and the rest of the kids are all Jacobs. That's Clarice and Lenny and Hazel. So Jacob is not just a illustrator and a dad, he's a super dad because he has 3 children.
Thank you.
I'm a standard issue dad. So those are our children. And I'm the author. So that means I write the words, I write the stories, and then I studied writing in school because I was always pretty good at writing. It's something that I knew how to do, and I liked writing. So I studied that in school, and I do that to make a living. I don't I write news, I write stories, and I write children's books, and that's me. And then Jacob, tell them about you.
Who am I? I am the illustrator, and there's a couple of cute pictures of me right there in my studio, which is where I am right now. Those pictures show how messy it usually is, and I went to school for art several years ago, and I feel like I'm still learning about art every single day. I learn new things about it. I do some paintings. I do some really big paintings like those ones you see me standing next to. And then I also do some drawings and some illustration work. And then I also have been, in the last 5 or 6 years, I have been working on writing children's books. And for the longest time, I had all these awesome illustration ideas for kids' books, and I didn't have a writer to work with. And then, sure enough, several years ago at a swimming pool, do you remember this part?
I do.
Yes.
We
What
met
happened there? Yeah.
So we met at our local swimming pool. We live right around the corner from each other. And when our daughters were tiny and hanging out around the kiddie pool, we met. And I realized that I had seen your paintings around town, and you mentioned that you were working on illustrating a book for a band that was doing a book. And I said, oh, I always wanted to write a children's story, and so that got us started.
And I had these really cool pictures in this half story idea, but I'm not such a good writer. So, and I had sent these pictures to plenty of people in the past. I was like, yeah, I've got a story idea for, like, and people be like, yeah, I'll write your story. And I'd send him the pictures, and I never heard anything back. And then Bart was the first one where I sent him these pictures, and like, I want to say like 2 days later or something like that, there was a story in my inbox. He had sent a story, and that story became our first book that was called Juniper Gets Wet, which was a super fun book. We learned a lot making this book. It was challenging because we stumbled through it. We did it all ourselves, and we made a lot of mistakes and tried several different things until we finally got this awesome book that you can now find at Avid, as well as all of our other titles. I feel like we got better and better at it as we went too. And
so let me tell them about the idea for so the second book we wrote and we did was this one. It's called The Girl Who Kept Night in Her Closet. And the idea for this book came from my daughter, Lucille, who one night she didn't want to go to bed. And she said, you know what? I think you should write a story about a girl who keeps night in her closet, because if she kept night in her closet, she wouldn't have to go to bed. And I thought, whoa, that's a really cool idea for a book. And so that was the second book. Whoa. How do Jacob, how is it that, do you remember how the third book came about?
The third book you totally came up with somehow. I don't even know how. The third book, we bounced around ideas for a while, and we didn't quite know what we were going to do. And then Bart sent me this randomly really cool story that said, do not read this book at bedtime. I feel like this book was very much yours. And I thought it was this book you can also find at Avid Bookshop. It's go ahead.
So I was just going to say, tell them this one about how you, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, this is the first one that I completely colored digitally, where I got on the computer and made all the artwork, and I did all the drawings in black and white, and then did all the pictures digitally. This book is really neat to me because it's a going to sleep story, and it kind of is one of these stories where I should tell the kids, don't listen for a second, but it's a story that tells you, it uses something called reverse psychology, where it tells you, don't let yourself get all sleepy. Don't do this. It says, just think about how heavy your arms are feeling and how tired you're getting. And then it's the same technique that actually my dad, who was a psych nurse for years and years, used to put me to bed at night a lot. So I thought, wow, how cool. So this book has been one of our very popular ones, actually. The parents really dig it too. And the kids enjoy it too. And
so tell them about Robot Soup and how the idea came for Robot Soup. This is good.
Robot Soup was a lot of Lenny, because what Lenny told me one day is he was talking.
Lenny is your son.
Lenny is my son, and when he was about 4 years old, he was talking about this guy, and I think we all know who this guy is. That's right. And Lenny was trying to tell me about how this guy wears a robot suit. And Lenny, sometimes it's a little hard to understand what he's saying. And I heard the words robot soup coming out of Lenny's mouth. And I thought, robot soup? That's a great kids book idea. Thanks, Lenny. I appreciate that. And so I said, Bart, you need to write a book called Robot Soup. I didn't have anything except that. That was my only idea. So Bart, what happened when I told you that?
Well, so I started thinking about that, and I thought, you know what? That sounds kind of like the punchline for like a late 80s hip hop song. And I thought it would be really fun to write a book that was also a song, and that kept coming back to Robot Soup. And so I started working on that. And I remember that I sent you I thought I had it finished. I wrote 4 or 5 verses, and I thought, oh, that's good. And I remember I sent it to you, and you're like, I think it needs some more verses. And you sent me back some ideas to make it longer, and that was great because I kept going, and it ended up being what it is.
This book was fun because I feel like we both kind of wrote it a little bit, which is really cool. Actually, we have a creative process that I really like. I would suggest to any kids out there, if you're when you're doing something creative, if you can find somebody
Get
who
a
you
partner.
work well with, yes, it makes such a difference. So we're very good at something called accepting criticism, and which means sometimes Bart might look at my picture and say, yeah, I just don't think that's working. And then sometimes I might look at something he wrote and go, I don't know, can we change a little bit of this or that? And so I would really say that all of the illustration and all the books, it's kind of like Bart took a big hand in helping draw the pictures, simply just by being like art director. And I like to think that sometimes I have made some comments or suggestions on the stories as well, where we've changed a few things around to hopefully make the story work a little better. So we kind of went back and forth on that, and it turned into Robot Soup.
Yeah. So let's read the book. Not enough talking about it. Let's read it.
That sounds great. Let's read the book. I'm gonna get this all pulled up here so y'all can see the title on it here. Let's see. This is where Bart banters while I get the screen share happening, because it's tech time. There we go. Banter. There we go. Yes, and I think
everybody remember, if you have a question, you can type it into the chat box over there, and we'll answer questions.
Please, our kids, if you have a question,
or
please
comment.
Or a comment.
And say hi.
You can absolutely get your parents' help if you need it. But we're gonna read the story, I believe, right now. Everybody see that? I think it's there.
That's the cover, Robot Soup by Bart King and Jacob Wenzka. And that's the inside page.
This is thanking Lenny for helping us come up with this wonderful story idea. Thank you, Lenny.
All right, here we go. You just woke up. It's Saturday morning. There's no school today. Nothing that's boring. You make your breakfast and flip on the TV. There's a knock at the door. Who could that be? Peek out the window, and to your surprise, it's a raggedy robot, a sad look in his eyes. He's looking kind of rough, like he needs to reboot. He wants something to eat. Let's make robot soup. Don't worry, Mr. Bot. We've got the remedy. A nice hot bowl of our robot recipe. First, the oil, nice and smooth, the kind you pour in a car to get it to move. Then find the stuff that's broke, the batteries, computers, and the phone that got soaked. It all goes in the pot to reconstitute. Cook it up hot, and that's robot soup. That's the kid and the robot making a mess.
And the cat. Everybody look for the cat as you read this.
And the cat. The next chapter of this story is 1 week later. We're having a party with all the first graders. You're playing a game, and there's the knock at the door. It's our robot pal, and a whole lot more. Big ones and small ones, and bots on wheels. He's got friends made of plastic and friends made of steel. But all of those robots are looking kind of pooped. You know what they need? That's right, robot soup.
Robot soup.
Now the party's hopping, but there's a complication. We're running out of stuff to feed the celebration. Hide your games and your mom's new phone, because the robots keep coming. They're in the hunger zone. It's 5 and 6, then 7 o'clock. The robots are still lining up around the block. Over and over in a mechanized loop, they say, make some more of that robot soup. We're just about to panic, but your friend says, wait, let's take a step back. Let's calculate. We need to find a place with lots of junk, a place where all these robots can get clunkety crunk. I know the perfect spot where these bots can chow down, the recycling center. Let's take them downtown. That's where they collect the stuff so we don't pollute. We can make a big batch of robot soup. So now we've got a plan and we head for the door. If the robots don't follow, we need something more. What can we do to get these bots on the move? How about a funky beat to get us all in the groove? You grab the soup pot, it's empty anyway. It makes a banging drum, and now you're ready to play. Beating out a rhythm that the bots will compute, you shout, follow me to get your robot soup. 0101 goes the beat that you made. Now you're out in front of a robot parade. Robots in the air and robots that hop, and all you rolling robots. Keep rolling, don't stop. Everybody's dancing to the 01 beat. We've even got some humans who joined us in the street. Now say it if you're ready. Bebop, beboop. For all you can eat, robot
soup.
And that's everybody partying down.
That's kind of my favorite picture at the end there.
That's a good.
And us. That's us. That's the author and illustrator right there. I don't know if you can tell who is who right there.
Ooh, where's my chart?
There we go. Okay, you see us again. We're back, right? I wanted to share a quick story. I didn't even tell Bart about this. I wanted to share a story and a warning about this book. I need to say that my friend messaged me just the other day. I'm not sure if Julie's on right now, but she messaged me and told me that one of her kids got in a little bit trouble because he dumped everything out of one of their pots in the kitchen, and he was putting things in it to make his own robot soup. So I have to say this book should come with the kids do not try this at home warning. But so yeah, kids do not try this at home. Okay, it's there you go.
Okay, hey, we've got some questions here. Yeah, we got some comments from Nate and Wendy. 80s Music Rocks. Yes, indeed. Griffin has a question. What's the next book idea? That's a great question. And I've actually started working on another book.
Bart would love to tell you about his new book. It's really exciting.
Yeah. So the next book is about a project that we're doing here in our neighborhood, planting blueberries around the neighborhood. And it takes place in the future, and it's with kids in the future, looking back at how their world became the world that it is, and how it began with a group of people who decided to start planting blueberries and start sharing resources and food and thinking about the environment that they lived in. So that's the next book, and it's about halfway written, maybe a third of the way written. Good question though.
What's the title there for that?
It is called, thank you for asking me, and it is called It Began with Blueberries. At least I think that's what it's called.
I like that title. I like that title.
With blueberries.
The idea was to have a book. Someone popped up and hi. The idea was to have we really want a story that is future blueberries. Sign us up. Yes, we really wanted to have a story. This story gestated earlier in this year, I think, a lot too, and we were really thinking about the future, and we'd like to have a very optimistic, upbeat view of the future, because there were a lot of kind of gloomy, dark predictions and things going on, and we really want to have something that's a little more of a, hey, the future could be really, really awesome. I grew up watching Star Trek, and I kind of want something like that. So that's a little bit where that came from too.
Hey, there's a question here about which is your favorite robot. Do you have a favorite robot, Jacob?
Oh my goodness, which is my favorite robot?
I do.
Yes, I will tell you exactly which is my favorite robot. Hold on. It's this guy. It's this guy right here. Did you see him in there? He's that flying robot. And you know what?
That's
You're actually
the one that's on the. We've got some shirts
be on a
coming
new
out.
T-shirt really soon. That's right. That's probably my favorite robot. And I also really like this.
Yes,
really
that's
like
my favorite.
Because he's like, is that your favorite?
Coffee bot. Yes, the coffee bot.
That's me in the morning right there. That's who that robot is. That's me needing that first cup of coffee.
I still like this one a lot, the bug bot.
Oh, that praying mantis robot is a good one. Yes, I really like that one.
I have lots of favorite bots. Good question.
There were a couple other questions there.
Does the cat have a name? That's a good question.
The cat have a
name?
name?
I don't know. Did you name the cat?
No. We might need to have a contest to name the cat or something. That's a great idea. The cat
You've got a good cat name. Pop it into the chat there.
Oh, do we see some cat names?
I think some folks should put in some cat names for sure. All right.
I like how my Aunt Laura wants to know why all children seem to love robots while older people like us find them somewhat threatening. Is that the same about technology too, just in general? Because like my daughters can do everything on a phone like already ahead of me, and she's only 9 years old. I don't know. That's a good question. Kids,
you got R2D2 right behind you there. I love some R2D2 as a kid.
He's not threatening. R2D2 is not threatening. I hope, but the Terminator is threatening. Ooh, the cat can be named Merlin. That's
good
what
idea,
says.
Kieran.
They like that. Here is a question from Janet.
Blaster.
Good that's good too. Fluffy, I have a question from Janet.
Curry. Sorry,
I
go
like Janet's question. Can you read this one?
Janet.
How do you find inspiration, draw or write, while you are feeling sad, angry, or frustrated? That's a really good question.
You know, sometimes I actually feel like that it's easier to write when I'm emotional because I have a lot of stuff that wants to come out. When I'm happy, I actually sometimes feel less apt to create. It's more when I'm that has more to do with maybe with music than with writing for me, because I was going to mention we're both musicians and I like to play music when I'm sad or upset.
That's
Did you
very
have something you
true.
wanted to say?
Yes. They yes, I think I would have to actually agree with that. So what you're saying, Bart, is that all of this comes from our tortured souls, and if we were truly happy, that we would not create anything because we'd just be content with things the way they are, right? We only I don't know if that's
Children's
totally
books
true,
make
but I do. I usually actually I feel like I use the art almost as therapy. So when I'm feeling sad or lonely or frustrated, that's actually usually when my best art happens. And that might be the weird part of being an artist or writer sometimes, is it's almost like you have to be unhappy in order to make good work. I don't know if that's always true, but it often seems to happen that I do my best work when I'm frustrated or upset about something. So that's a very
I
good
like to
question.
write children's books when I'm happy. Hey, there's
That's
some more
true.
names
There we
coming
go.
out. So
Oh,
Curry, Greta, I
Curry,
love the name
Midnight,
Curry. It's a beautiful name.
Worf
Midnight,
the cat.
Worf, Nate, good call. Andre, I like it. I like it.
The
Potato.
cat's name should be
Potato is a great
Potato.
name for a cat.
Ha ha ha. Yes, I like it.
Great
Oh,
name.
my goodness.
Sweetie. That's a
Ah,
sweet name.
yes.
Book with a school as a setting. That is a good idea, to write a book with a school as a setting. I have to think about that. All right,
Yes.
so let's see. The next thing we were going to talk about, we read the book, then, so we were going to mention to especially the parents out there, if you on the website, all of the books that we just showed, that's the digital version of the book, and you can get all of our books, digital versions that you can look at on your phone or your what are those things called, tablets, all that stuff for free at our website, which is newgrowthpublishing.com. From there, you can also download the song, the Robot Soup song, and coloring sheets, which Jacob is holding right there. All that stuff is free to anybody who signs up for the newsletter.
Yeah, you have to print them yourself, but you can download. Oh, you can color me and Bart, and you can show us how you think, what colors you think we should be. So please, yes, if you get a chance, go to newgrowthpublishing.com. If you guys want to pop that in the chat, you can, or whatever. But New Growth Publishing is the name of our. Basically, it's me and Bart. We may expand it to include some other people in the near future, but right now it's our books. Yes, and we have some cool stuff you can download right there.
So let's get moving so we can get to this video.
Yes, I'm ready to see the video. When do we see the video?
Soon. All right, so we made the book, and then we wanted to record it as a song. And so actually, while Jacob was finishing working on the book, he was finishing up that stage. I started working on the song, and I worked with a local music producer here in Athens, Georgia, Noah Johnson. He helped me to I could hear the song in my head, what I wanted it to sound like, but I didn't know how to make the sounds. And so the producer's job is to make the recording happen, to make the sounds, bring the sounds into the song. So I worked with Noah, and he helped on that a lot. And we actually recorded we got everything done, and we recorded the vocals where I was singing the week before COVID started, and we were going to have a bunch of kids come in and sing on
early March.
chorus.
This was early March of this year. Yep. Remember early March of 2020? Does everybody remember that even? It was a very different time. Yes, sorry.
So we were gonna have kids come sing on the song, but everybody had to start wearing masks, and we had to shut things down, and so that didn't happen. So we just went ahead without it. Jacob, you want to tell them kind of briefly what the process of finishing the book is like, and then we'll show the video.
Yes, I just heard that March was like 6 years ago. That's about right. So while Bart was working on recording the song, it often happens while we're doing our books that Bart does a bunch of work, and then I do a bunch of work, and then Bart does a bunch of work. So luckily with this one, we were able to set it up that while I was finishing the book and putting the colors in it, the story was already written, and Bart was able to start working on putting the song together. So that was awesome. But what I do when I do my process is I usually start with these black and white drawings. Here's a couple of the actual pieces of art that are Robot Soup now. I draw them bigger. They're bigger than the book. The book is only this big and the art is much bigger. And the reason I do that is because then I take these pictures and I scan them into the computer, and then I make them a little bit smaller so you really see those details. And this is where I start adding the color. So I start putting the color in what's called digitally. I used to do my pictures on our first book. When I did Juniper Gets Wet, I sat and I did these smaller pictures and I hand colored each one with watercolors. And it was great fun. And they do look really, really good. But it took forever because I had to paint each picture. So when we made our first book, when we made Juniper Gets Wet back in maybe 2015 or 16, that book took us about a year and a half, maybe. Does that sound about right, Bart? Year and a half, 2 years almost to put that book together. So we got to where we made our last couple books. We put some other books shorter and shorter. And I think we made Do Not Read This Book at Bedtime in about 9 months. And we made Robot Soup, and that took a little longer because we were also putting a song together and everything, but it was definitely a much faster process. So I use those colors on the computer. It's part of that slightly faster process. And also those digital colors work much nicer when you print. You really get these colors to pop because I can see what they're going to look like on the screen. Sometimes you make a picture and then when you scan it or photograph it, it doesn't look the same. So Bart, I was busy doing that. And then Bart, what were you doing as far as making that song and that video at that time?
Well, why don't you pull up the next screen share and we can look at some pictures of
Let's take a look. All right.
Of the recording process.
All right, kids, we're going to see a couple more little pictures here. Let's see. You just keep singing a song or something while
I see a question here from Mr. Missouri asking about if we have a show somewhere for all the work. And in fact, we did have a huge show for a year out at Athens Academy where all the artwork was shown. And then we had a show ready to go. It was all hung at Cine, ready for the launch of this book. And it was open for not even a week when everything shut down for COVID. So that show never got seen. And
we hung up a beautiful show. Yes, at Cine over spring break, right before spring break. In 2020, we hung up all these awesome paintings at Cine, and then they actually stayed up there for like 10 months because Cine was closed and nobody saw them. It was an awesome show. So we're going to get back to doing that as soon as we can start putting up art shows again someplace.
All right, we're getting to the video. Promise, kids.
Video's coming.
So those are the 3 books before. Go ahead to the next slide. And so this is while Jacob was finishing illustrating the robots. Next one, it should be me in the studio here. That's the New Growth studio where I work and recording vocals. And that's Noah Johnson, who was the co-producer on it. And we recorded that right here. And then that's Evan, who is on this call right now. And so we found him after we finished the song and the book. We found Evan, who lives here in Athens. He went to Clark County Schools. He went to Barrow Elementary. He went to Clark Central. And then he went out to California and studied animation in college out there and was back here just in time to help us work on this project. So we are going to show you the video and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about how we did it. So y'all, this is the world premiere of the Robot Soup video. So excited to share this with you all as soon as Jacob gets it pulled up.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
You all are the first to witness it. Oop. Any minute now.
Any minute now. It's happening. I promise.
Wake up, it's Saturday morning. No school today, nothing that's boring. Make your breakfast, flip on the TV, and there's a knock at the door. Who could that be? Peek out the window, and to your surprise, it's a raggedy robot, sad look in his eyes. He's looking kinda rough, like he needs to reboot. He wants something to eat, let's make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Don't worry, Mr. Bot. We've got the remedy. A nice hot bowl of our robot recipe. First, the oil, nice and smooth. The kind you pour in a car to get it to move. Then find the stuff that's broke. The batteries, computers, and the phone that got soap. It all goes in the pot to reconstitute. Cook it up hot, that's the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. The next chapter of this story is 1 week later. We're having a party with all the first graders. Playing a game and there's a knock at the door. It's our robot pal and a whole lot more. Big ones and small ones and bots on wheels. He's got friends made of plastic and friends of steel. But all of those robots, they're looking kind of pooped. You know what they need? That's right, robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Now the party's hopping, but there's a complication. You're running out of stuff to feed the celebration. Hide your games and your mom's new phone, cause the robots keep coming, they're in the hunger zone. I know the perfect spot where these bots can chow down. It's the recycling center. Let's take them downtown. That's where they collect the stuff so we don't pollute, and we can make a big batch of robots. Make the robots soup. Let's make the robots soup. Make the robots soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. 0101 goes the beat that you made. Now we're out in front of a robot parade. Robots in the air, robots that hop. All you rolling robots, keep rolling, don't stop. Everybody's dancing to the 01 beat. We've even got some humans who joined us in the street. Now say it if you're ready, bebop, beboo. For all you can eat, robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Make the robot soup. Let's make the robot soup. Make the robot soup.
Yay!
There it is.
That's so
All
exciting
right.
to show that. We've been working on that for a long time. Maybe we can invite Evan on to wave, and we can bring him in on this next
Hi
section.
again, Evan.
Hi guys.
Are
You
you
did an
there?
excellent job on this.
Hey y'all,
It was
everybody.
fun to
This is
do.
Evan. Yeah, Evan took this and put lots and lots of time into it, and it was really great to work on that with you. So, Evan, I was going to talk a little bit about how kind of what the process was and how you mixed, still drawings and moved the camera across some still drawings, and then other parts you animated different. You actually made the robots move and stuff. You want to talk about that, or kind of tell what it was that why you decided that was the best way to go?
Sure. I did everything on my computer and using a handheld tablet that I have. And so I would do all these drawings in different software programs. And my goal in doing the video this way was I wanted to make the choruses feel distinct from the verses. And I thought one way to do that was to kind of emulate the look of the book by using kind of more elaborate compositions and just nicer looking drawings, and moving across them, kind of creating a sense of movement. But when we got to the choruses, I really wanted to see these robots express themselves and their personalities. And that's what I really enjoyed getting to do, and just trying to discover who these guys were. bring them out off the page into the world, you know?
We've got some drawings, some of your early drawings where you're doing. Jacob, do you want to do the screen share, and we'll show some of the development shots.
There he
So
is.
kids,
There's Evan again. So he drew some still pictures here.
yep. So these are kind of the initial background drawings that you did, and I was trying to show the way that you drew the bigger picture, but then you moved across them. So the picture itself wasn't moving so much as kind of the move, and then you had to color them in, which is what Jacob's showing next. And then the next shot, I think, is when, so here's some of your hand drawings where you took some of the characters and started experimenting with how they would move. And this is one of the
fun
very
time
first
seeing these
things.
robots start dancing. Yes.
And then this is Jacob, or sorry, Evan, do you want to explain what this is that we're looking at here?
So I used a software called TV Paint, where I went in and just kind of like working on a page. I worked with all these different layers you can see on the screen. So I would have the lines for the robots on one layer, and I would have the color on another, and each character would be on their different layers, and I would export them from the software as just a single image. So then all I would need to do is string all of the images together, and we could play it as a video. And that's how it ends up looking like it feels lively and, you know, like it's actually moving.
Nice. So I'm just looking at the comments. We've got so many nice comments from everybody. Thank you so much. Glad y'all.
I can see a few kids are getting sleepy, so we're gonna so we played the video one more time, and we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, and so what we'll do is I think we're running out of time to actually play the video one more time. So what we'll do is we'll post the link to. So if you go to the YouTube channel, the video is on our YouTube channel, the New Growth Publishing YouTube channel. It's there. Also, the full version of the song is there. And as we mentioned before, you can download the song and all the stuff from the website. Jacob, do you want to pull up and show them quickly the Robot Soup, the new shirts, and then
oh yes,
and then we'll begin checking out. Evan, thanks so much for popping on and saying hi, and thanks again for your great work. It's really
thanks, Evan.
Wonderful.
Really awesome.
Thanks everyone for the nice comments.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm showing you guys one more thing here.
Oh, and there we posted the link.
There it is.
Yes, so these are the Robot Soup shirts that are available, limited time, limited offer for the holidays. We did those with Satisfactory Printing here in Athens, and so you can link to those from our website at New Growth Publishing if you're interested in getting a shirt. And yeah, the link is in the chat here for the YouTube channel. And thank you all so much for being here. I think we're gonna wrap up and pass it back over to Janet and Avid. Thank you for having us. And yeah, we try to keep all of our books at Avid, so go and buy them there.
I believe you could pick up any of our books at Avid right now. If you can't, we're gonna make sure that they're all there. But we're up to 4 now. So you could really, you could take care of all your Christmas shopping pretty much right away if you swing by there and get any one of or more of these here. It's super exciting. I feel like it's crazy. Yes, thank you so much for having us too, you guys. And Clarice wants to say goodnight to everyone who's going to bed real soon.
Good night, Clarice.
And
so
Lenny.
we really want to thank Bart and Jacob. I know that we are in our own homes, but if you are at a home and you want to clap and say woo on mute, I'm going to do it now. So awesome. One thing that they're doing that is a very special thing that usually only happens with local authors and illustrators is that if you want a copy of Robot Soup or one of their other books and you want to give it to a friend, say you have another friend named Clarice and you think, you know, what would be so cool is if I got Clarice a copy of Robot Soup and I could get Jacob and Bart to write to Clarice in it, meaning that the actual author and illustrator would sign your friend's name on there. That would be such a great gift.
We'll even draw a little robot in there.
Oh, no way. A tiny robot.
I think all the ones that have a little robot in there, yes.
Oh, genius. So it's a really great idea for a present, especially if like me, I always try to tell people how awesome Athens is, and they don't always understand it until they come here and visit. And this is such a cool example because it's two people who met because they were super friendly, like people in Athens are, got to know each other. They have awesome kids because all the kids in Athens are awesome. And then they created books by themselves. This is a huge deal, you guys. A lot of people say they want to write a book or illustrate a book, but they made it happen. So you can send someone that you love a piece of Athens by sending them a signed book. So you can order that at avidbookshop.com. And then in the order comments, after you've added the books that you want to your virtual cart, you can say, please write this to Janet. And that way, when Bart and Jacob come in, they'll put their masks on and they'll come in to Avid and they'll sign it. And then we can mail these to anywhere you want. So thank you so much. This has been such a lovely evening of celebrating robots and books and friendship in Athens. And we so wish we could be with you in real life, but we can't. So for now, we're going to support each other and support each other's creative projects like this. And we'll see you in real life at the bookshop 2021. Right, guys?
Yes. Thank you so much.
So much, y'all.
Our next book will be in the store.
Yes, we will have a book party in real life where we can hug each other and high five.
Yay,
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending.
Everyone.
High five. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. High five. Here's Lenny. Oh, I saw high fives going all around. Yes. There's Chris. High fives from there.